Roberta J, and you're back in my kitchen with me today to make something I'm calling ground tofu. Because when it's done, it reminds me of ground beef. The first thing you do is you take a package of tofu. Now, I know tofu may come in different ounce sizes, but mine is 14 ounce. Just take one block of tofu. And what you want to do is drain it and squeeze out as much of, not a lot, but some, so there's still a little drippage left in the, is drippage a word? Anyway, a little bit of liquid in the block of tofu. And then you bring it to a bowl and we're gonna mush it up. Just like you would do a package of ground beef. You're gonna turn it into little pieces. After it's all crumbled, you're gonna set it aside because we're gonna use it in a few minutes. Then take another small bowl, because in order for it to be seasoned, we have to put some seasonings on. The first is 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. The next is 3/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder. I used granulated garlic or garlic powder is fine. The same amount, 3/4 of a teaspoon of granulated onion or onion powder. Now this one has 3 different things in it, but I'll show it to you. I have 1/4 of a teaspoon of cumin, an 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground black pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I use Himalayan. Put that in. Get it all. Because that, for some reason, always sticks to this little ceramic dish. Then you want to use 3/4 of a teaspoon of smoky paprika. Now, I've been making this. It gives it a little smoky, spicy taste. If you don't like that much spice, you can leave this out or use just regular paprika, okay? But this is 3/4 of a teaspoon of smoky paprika. And this is 1.5 teaspoons, though it does not look like it, of parsley flakes. When you do it, as you measure it, put it in your hand, ground it up with your hand like this, and it'll be a smaller amount, but you won't have such big pieces all over the tofu. And the last one is 1/2 of a teaspoon of basil. Dump it in. Then just stir all your spices together with the nutritional yeast. Then bring back the set aside tofu and take this and sprinkle all over it. Now here comes the fun. You're going to take nice clean hands that you've washed, and just like you did, or if you still do if you eat ground beef, you're going to go in and just mush it all together. Gently squeeze those spices into the tofu because the tofu is wet. Remember, you didn't get rid of all of the liquid, but a lot of it. So just keep squeezing it. This smells so delicious. It's that kind of wonderful smell. So once all the pieces are broken down pretty well, the next thing you'll do is take like a cookie sheet that you have parchment lined. I've already done that. So here it is. And then pour it on. Have a spoon ready so that you can get it all, every last little crumble. You really don't need a spoon for this. Just use your hand. Get it all into the corners. You want it in a thin layer. That's good. This recipe was inspired from Simnet. I think that's it. Yeah, Simnet Nutrition, and it's a YouTube channel. And I got the recipe, but I changed it and how you put it together. After you've got it into the single layer, you're going to put it into the preheated oven, okay? And you'll do it for 25 minutes. If you like it kind of a soft, if you want it more crunchy, do it for like 30 to 35 minutes. And then just keep going in like every 5 minutes or so and testing it to see if that's crunchy enough. You don't have to actually throw it in your mouth, but you can just see with your hands whether or not it is. So I'm going to put this in for 25 minutes. So after it's cooked for 25 minutes, which I've already done, you make more than this. I just made some yesterday. It's delicious. This is what it looks like. It gets browned and it's very granular, not very granular, but it's very separated and it's quite good. Now you can use this for anything that you can think of that, say if you were eating ground beef, again with the ground beef or ground turkey or ground chicken or whatever you're eating, you can use this with. I'm gonna make a taco. You can put it over your salad. You can put it, any pasta dish that you have. You know, you put ground beef in, you could put this in instead. You could just eat it plain, which I've been known to do. But you could just think of the things that you would use ground beef for and then use this with it. So I'm starting with a whole grain tortilla shell. And you lie that flat. And then this is the first thing that I'm going to put in. Just going to scoop it, put it right down the middle. I'm going to bring you this recipe, but this is some hard sliceable cheese. And it's quite tasty. Now you've got your cheese. And then put some carrots right down the middle. These are just cut up cherry tomatoes. I'm going to place those in too. And then you put on your greens, some scallion or green onions. Now sprinkle on put on your favorite salsa. This is just black bean salsa that I get from the grocery store. And put that right down the middle. Now, if you have a good cheese sauce that you want to do, even though you've already put cheese on, and you can make your taco any way you want. This is just the way I like it. This is messy, so I hope I don't drip any down the front of me. And I'm just gonna take a bite right here, okay? This is really good. You can make the same thing I've made here without doing the ground tofu. You can just start just like I started, but instead of with the ground tofu, you can just use your favorite hummus or slice cucumbers very thin and then build it the same way. But the thing that I didn't do, which I want to do, is to taste this just plain. This is cooled down a little bit out of the oven. This is good. If you can't eat tofu, which I know some of you have told me, you could try, I have not tried it, but you could try either cut up your garbanzo beans or mash them a little. Not to spin them down like you would for hummus, but just mash them up a little bit so there's still some texture. You could do the same thing with it and still do the cooking. Perhaps not as long. You could cut the cooking time maybe in half and check it. But you could do it with beans, okay? So that's the end of the video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to click on the bell so that every time a new video is uploaded, you will get the notification. So bye for now, but I'm going to take another bite.